Now, in order to understand cover 4 quarters, you have to first have match coverage on by going into zone coverage and setting it to match. And then second, you have to understand that match defense matches based off of the depth that the receiver runs and breaks on their route. Now, today we're going to be focusing primarily on cover 4 quarters against 2x2 sets. And then we're going to be talking about gun bunching in the second half of this video. Later in this series, you're going to be talking about trip sets and 2x2 compressed sets. So cover 4 quarters with match turned on, we're going to go into spread and the play does not matter. Now, I'm going to go ahead and back this ball up all the way to wherever we are. Now, to start off, very simple. Cover 4 quarters matches based off a numbering system. We have the number 1 receiver right here, Mike Evans. Number 2 receiver is going to be Davante Adams. And then over on the other side, number 1 is Perriman, number 2 is Cooper Kupp, and then number 3 is Leonard Fournette. It is based upon the numbers that they are aligned to. So this outside quarter matches to the number 1 receiver. This inside quarter matches to the number 2 receiver. And same thing on this side. This guy matches up to the number 1 receiver if he goes vertical. This guy matches up to the number 2 receiver if he goes vertical. This leaves us with our quarter flat. Our quarter flat matches the running back if the running back runs a route like a wheel route, for example. Otherwise, his assignment is just to get a good jam on the number 2 receiver and then work his way down to the flats. This leaves us with our last defender, the 3 receiver hook, and this becomes a lot more obvious as we get into the gun bunch later into this video. But he is to play the number 3 receiver if he goes vertically long enough to either pass him off to his inside quarter safety or to allow the quarter flat to man match. I'm going to put Y on an out route smart routed, X on a smart routed in route, and then A smart routed out route, B smart routed in route. Now all these receivers are running 10 yards. They're breaking at the 10-yard marker, the first down marker, and you'll again find that this inside quarter will match to the slot receiver. This outside quarter matches with number 1. This inside quarter matches number 2. This outside quarter matches number 1 again with the quarter flats getting a jam on the number 2 receiver. So we'll snap this ball just to show you guys how this all works out, and you can see how everybody man matches. Back this out and just see how this exactly works out. So right here, outside quarter, he breaks on the route about 9 yards, about the first down marker, and you can see outside quarter matches. Same thing for the number 2. Number 2 breaks about 10 yards downfield, inside quarter matches. And we got the same thing going on over here as well. 10-yard out route, inside quarter matches, 10-yard in route, outside quarter matches. Now, this is where things can get a little tricky. And if they go ahead and send the running back on a wheel, let's go ahead and just do the same exact route combination we were doing. Everybody's running a 10-yarded smart routed route. The running back is now going to go vertical, which makes the quarter flat now match him. So we'll snap this ball on offense, and you'll see the quarter flat is going to go ahead and man match himself to the running back. And again, everybody, for as far as the inside and outside quarters go, still match respective to whatever direction the receivers may be running their route. Now, there's one more thing we need to add into a 2x2 set, and this is if one of the receivers goes and runs a flat route. So for example, let's go ahead and say we run something like this. I'm going to go ahead and take the running back and I'm going to keep him in to block. Now, the number 2 receiver in this case is running a flat route on both sides of the field, both Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams. When they do this, the inside quarters or the quarters respective to their receiver will not man match. We'll talk about how they do man match if you press in a separate video, but for simplicity's sake, they will not man match again because they're not running a 9+ yard deep route, meaning they will spot drop and look for any kind of post route or corner route they need to go ahead and bracket themselves to. So this is what it looks like currently. We're going to go ahead and snap this ball. You will see that X and B go ahead and get man matched by the outside, but then the inside quarters, because their receivers do not go vertical, will spot drop. And when I say spot drop, think of cover 4 show 2 out of the 3-4 odd. Another example of this is the cover 4 drop out of the nickel 3-3. Now let's go ahead and swap this up. Let's say X and A run smart routed out routes, and then B and X run smoke screens. Again, we'll snap this ball. You'll see that those guys look for work on the outside and they go ahead and bracket it off. Now that outside quarter on the opposite side on the running back, he didn't play it how he should, and that's just kind of an EA Sports, it's in the game. But as we go over to the instant replay, you'll see that this inside quarter matched his receiver correctly. So this is really what is actually supposed to happen. This guy looks for work because his receiver goes and stays in the flats. He goes ahead and brackets off this out route. So you can check there how that works. And that's how it's supposed to work. So that is what happens if these receivers stay in the flats. Again, the DBs are going to look for any kind of work they need to go ahead and do. They can bracket off people because, again, they have no responsibility deep. They look for additional work. Now, before we continue on with this video, the state of the game remains ad catches. We're continuing to see more and more corner outs every day from formations like gun bunch, gun tight offset tight end, gun tight trips, and a ton more. And each of these corner outs runs a different depth, meaning that it's going to make zone drops an impossible thing to be able to run to shut these all down. Now, if you want to learn how you can shut these corner outs down without having to use zone drops, become a member of the Madden Mastermind Discord server for $9.95 per month. And if you want even more than that and get access to monthly coaching on top of all the defensive schemes there, become a Madden Mastermind Discord server as well, plus coaching for $40 per month. Those links are going to be in the description below, and if you want to learn everything that's included with this Discord membership, be sure you check out the video pinned in the comment section. So when we're facing gun bunch, it's actually one of the easier things to understand. This inside quarter carries anything vertical to his side of the field. So in this case, anything in the deep inside quarter part of the field that goes vertically is his responsibility. This outside quarter will match anything that comes to his side of the field, which in this case, we are running Z spot. And this is a very popular way. You're going to see a lot of people running it, just focusing on the gun bunch side. So taking this principle, the last thing we need to talk about is this quarter flat. Again, the quarter flat's responsible for getting a jam on the number 2 receiver and then working his way down to the flats. The 3 receiver hook. In this case, the 3 receiver hook, if you remember last time, he is responsible to just bracket off anything vertically until he gets passed off to the inside quarter or to the outside quarter, respective to whoever it may be. Now, I'm going to hop onto the D-liner here. We're going to go ahead and spy off the pass rush, and we're going to just focus on the bunch high-low read. Watch how the inside quarter and outside quarter reacts. Inside quarter carries the vertical route, outside quarter carries that corner out, and you can see it matches it perfectly. Now, there's one more thing we can add on to gun bunch, and this is for quarters and palms. The solo side receiver is going to get matched by that outside quarter regardless of what he does. We've talked about how they match if they go 10 yard vertically. In quarters defense against a bunch, that rule goes out the window. No matter what he does, he will man match. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put him on a smoke screen, and we're going to go ahead and run the same route combination on bunch. And you'll see the outside quarter is going to go ahead and man match to that smoke screen. Again, it doesn't matter the depth that he runs. He will play man to man every single time. Now let's go ahead and add this. So again, we're going to go ahead and just show you guys kind of what happens right here if we have the man match principle going on. This is a 10-yard in route. Normally against 2x2 sets, he would man match. In this case, by a smoke screen, he would drop. But remember, he's going to man match no matter what. So I'm going to make sure I'm around the controller, snap the ball. Outside quarter matches that dig route. Outside quarter matches the corner route. Inside quarter matches the vertical route. And then the quarter flat goes ahead and takes the flat route from the tight end and man matches him as well. Now, there is one final thing I need to talk about with gun bunch, and this is a specific rule catered towards match defense as a whole, and we're going to go into the gun bunch open tight end for this, and the play is going to be flood. We're going to go into cover 4 quarters, and again, we'll be talking about quarters against trip sets and tight sets in a separate video. For now, I want to focus on bunch and 2x2 spread sets, but this is the play. We have 4 receivers on one side of the field. So as we go over and look on offense, we have the number 1 here, number 2 here, number 3 there, and number 4 right here. Anytime there are 4 receivers to one side of the field, match defense will convert into a spot drop defense, which leads us to some issues. So if they have 4 receivers to one side of the field, I can confidently throw this corner out all day long, and I know I can hit that regardless of what happens. Now, that time cover 4 quarters actually match. It should not match, but for some reason it did right there. EA Sports, it's in the game. But again, this is just a general rule for anytime you come across a 4 receivers to one side of the field. Remember, don't forget about the running back. Now this is covering everything about the 2x2 spread sets and the basics for the gun bunch. Now there's ways that gun bunch can bomb cover 4 quarters very easily, especially out of the Washington playbook. I actually made a video talking about that. It's gonna be popping up here on the screen. I highly suggest you check that video out before you decide to leave, so you can learn about some match bombs and ways that you can go about countering it. Again, there's gonna be 2 PayPal links in the description. One gets you monthly coaching every single month for $39.95 per month, on top of all the other content that we have within the Discord server. The $9.95 per month gets you access just to the Discord server content, as well as those weekly live streams. Those are going to be linked in the description, and again, there's going to be a video pinned in the comment section below. Check that out and subscribe if you are new, and we catch you guys in the next one. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, still to know, man, I still go, go, go.